I am so excited to introduce you. This is Gabe Otte, and he is the CEO at Freenome. And I'm excited for you to tell us a little bit about what Freenome is doing, what your mission is. But first, I just want to thank you, Gabe, for taking time out of your busy schedule to be with us and to talk about leadership and your personal journey. So thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me and inviting me for this wonderful opportunity. Yes, I'm the CEO of Freenome. Freenome works on developing a blood test to detect cancer at the earliest points possible. So if you're familiar with sort of colorectal cancer screening, for example, I'm sure many of us have family members or have done it ourselves of doing a colonoscopy. It's a very laborious process. A lot of times people, end up getting sick while they're preparing for it. And as a result of it being so difficult, most people don't end up doing it at all, which means that we end up catching cancer really late. 80% of all the cancers that we catch today are stage 3, stage 4, sort of late cancers, and the people are on the verge of death. And we want to make sure that we actually have a good chance of curing cancer by making cancer screening something as easy as a blood draw that we can actually do testing with, just like you would do an annual physical.
It's so exciting, I think that my dad was one of those people who was colon cancer caught at stage 4.
Yes.
So what Freenome is doing is near and dear to my heart for personal reasons. So Gabe, in today's Wednesday Wisdom, we'd like to talk about the importance of empathy. So Freenome has chosen empathy as one of its core values.
Empathy is this idea that when you are interacting with other people around you, that you are doing it in a way that is maximally helpful and beneficial to that person, while also, keeping in mind our mission and how to be sort of successful as a group, right? And I sort of define it that way because I think empathy without context is really hard for people to understand, right? Empathy usually, people think of, oh, it means like being in other people's shoes or, trying to see things from their perspective. And all those things are true. But just practically speaking from a company operations perspective, we think of it really as trying to avoid as much wasted time as possible and wasted energy as possible. Because if you're talking to somebody in a way that they're not going to be receptive to what you're saying, you're essentially just wasting time. And wasting energy, wasting resources and things like that. And like companies live or die by whether they use their resources well, right? And I noticed that a lot of people waste so much time on fixating on interpersonal issues that's really about their ego, and it has nothing to do with whether they want the mission and the company to be successful or not. And a lot has to do with communicating the way they want to communicate. And because they're communicating in a way that they want to communicate, then other people are also doing that. And then people are talking past each other, people are getting defensive with one another, and then really nothing is getting done. So it's really a matter of efficiency, right? To include empathy as a value for Freenome, because I think people hear empathy and they're like, oh, that's like, what you do in your private life. You don't do that in a company context or something like this.